What's poppin'? If you're watching the replay, shout out to you. If you're live right now, welcome. Appreciate y'all pulling up. We're about to get started in a little bit. Okay, Tanika is in the building. I was gonna put the Pay for College Instagram. If you could just request Tanika and then we'll get started. So you can follow Tanika at Paid for College. If you're watching the replay, I don't know. I don't believe that they have the comments. So Paid for College, the number 4. And that's how you kill Tanika. And I believe Tanika Explores is her personal page. It's popping.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up? What's up?
Cool. What's up? All right, so we're gonna get straight into it. I don't know if you seen the past ones I've done or no.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're on
so
a roll too.
you said what?
You're on a roll too. Come on.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying. So this is gonna be a little, recording for the people that watch afterwards and stuff, just to get a little taste of personality and all that. Put a face to the name of the episode. So first of all, how is Tanika doing? How you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, you frozen on mine. Can you hear me?
Am I frozen?
Oh no, you're good now.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. So I'm good. It's good. It's March Madness. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, cool.
I'm in it.
Cool. I'm kind of disappointed though. I thought you would have pulled up with some red wine. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, because how that is going to be the plan, honestly. Yeah, it will be the plan after this.
Okay, perfect. Okay. It's recorded, so you don't want to act crazy. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Any wins this week? Any wins? Big, small, any kind of wins?
I have a forthcoming win. Tomorrow I'll be featured on one of my biggest opportunities to speak to a lot of students at one time.
Dope.
I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm doing a session called Debt Free Education.
Okay.
Right. And so that will give me opportunity to really, spread all this information out. And I wanted to actually make sure that I'm not crazy, right? Or like, okay, I keep saying like, hey, this is information you haven't heard before. So I went ahead and I started Googling like stuff that I usually share. No, it's not out.
Okay. Is it virtual or what?
Very exciting.
Are you cutting off again? You said what?
I said it's very exciting. Very exciting times.
Okay. Is it virtual? Is it virtual or in person?
It's virtual. It's virtual. So using a new platform I've never used before called Hopin. But I'm really excited to hear it's a great platform. I've been studying it and everything. So I'm looking to do a lot more engagement. So I'm looking forward to really maximizing what the platform has. So I'm excited.
Okay. Oh, your thing keep freezing. I hope it don't freeze on like the replay and stuff. But so yeah, it's all good. So I always like to ask what people's relationship with money is, because I'm curious to see how they grew up. So I'm interested. What would you say is your relationship with money?
Ooh, relationship with money honestly was ill-informed.
Okay.
When I say ill-informed, it was very much like your parents took care of everything. They just told you not to worry about it. If they couldn't afford something, they didn't really let you know they couldn't afford anything, right? So it was like, well, we'll make a way. And now after like being adult, it's like make a way. I'd rather you just be honest, because making a way means you had to sacrifice in other areas that we never got to see, or conversations that they may have had that were never previewed to me. But now as an adult, it's like, yeah, you had to do a lot to get this, and you had to really scrap. And so it's so interesting that we talk about sacrifice, or things that you have to sacrifice, or things you have to put off for the greater purpose, which is to be debt free. and how a lot of people clutch their pearls like, I gotta sacrifice something. But in
Yeah.
reality, it's more of like they're, because sometimes they might be coming from families where that was never a conversation. Like
Mm.
it was never a conversation about what they had to sacrifice in order to get you school clothes, get you stuff for school, or get you to go play those sports and AA basketball, or you know what I mean? All those
Yeah.
things, it just wasn't really talked about. It just happened to show up. They made a way. And now it's like we just figured we can make a way without having to sacrifice anything. But the reality is everybody has to make a choice. You got to make a choice, and it's going to be a choice that could or could benefit you long term. So you got to decide which choice you're going to make. Um, but all of us got a choice. All of us got a choice. Um, so for me, that was been my relationship with money, is that now realizing that there are choices to be made that could be beneficial for the
Mm.
long run. So start thinking about investments now, like, this STEMI check, um, like what I'm gonna do, the
Yeah.
choices that you make really could impact the next couple things, right? Your next couple
Definitely.
months, the next couple years, however, however you play with money. It's not just a board game Monopoly anymore. This is real dollars that you want to
Facts.
maximize to the most of your ability. So
Facts, facts. Yeah, that's huge. That's definitely huge. So I guess I wanted to get into like the feeling. How does it actually feel being debt free? Like you're literally waking up tomorrow and you don't have a student loan payment. You feel me?
it's surreal. I think it's surreal now because there's so much conversation about student loans right now.
Yeah. Hmm.
Everybody's like praying, wishing for even a 10,000 or 50,000 cut or something, right?
Hmm.
Everybody's just wishing for a little bit of a break, or for some policies to be changed. Knowing that, also understand if you are into policy or you are into politics, policies take a longer time to change. So during that time frame, you're going to be incurring interest unless they push it back again. So there's just a whole bunch. So for me, it's a blessing, it's a gratitude, but it's also responsibility. I wake up with responsibility
Mm.
of, you cannot let, like, say student loan debt got passed tomorrow. All the people with student loan debt right now, very, very happy, right? Yes, it can limit
Yeah.
it. My responsibility is to the students who are coming in, because they don't get to benefit from that.
Yeah.
Besides, all the people
It's
they
definitely
get
huge.
cleared, but what's for the next generation? They have to be educated. They have to be informed about the decisions. They have to understand financial literacy. They have to understand the college terms. They have to understand, what does it mean to take out the student loan, and how do I make sure I paid it off in the same year? All this stuff isn't taught. And so as the conversation right now is big on forgiveness for those who are suffering, right? The ones who are coming behind them, the stuff no one's talking about. And it's, for me, it's a responsibility to say, make sure that they feel seen, right? Because there's no policy for them.
Hmm.
There's no changes for them in the works. It's just what's right now. And so, yeah, I wake up with a great responsibility for that. I'm constantly thinking, how do I get this out? I don't want to throw anything out. I don't want to just like create things just to be throwing them. Like, I want it to be a process. So there's actionable steps.
Hmm.
Right? Like, I can make videos all day. I can throw a YouTube channel together, which I know I am doing. But it's more of like, I want the YouTube channels, like, after they watch this video, they're like, ha, I can do this, 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 and this. And they have a download, workable worksheet to do.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't want to be a video to watch, right? Um, so that's the biggest things that keep me up at night. Those are the things that wake me early in the morning. Those are the thoughts that I carry. And so now it's just about action, right? Um, if I'm going to pull
Yeah.
them to action, that means I got to go into action. So I'm really excited to start
Hmm.
that process, and doing it on a larger scale. I've been doing it, but now, like, really putting the content out, really making sure that people are aware, that's where I get excited. So, April's financial literacy month. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. So I'm just gearing
Hmm.
up for, okay, April, when you're getting your award letters. This is where you're really looking at all of your school, determining what school to go to. It's
Hmm.
the opportunity where the next month or so, or even next month, you're deciding what school you're going to attend. So now it's just talking
Yeah,
about cost. Everything's going to be about cost starting next month. So it's going to be high time for someone like me to come in to say, let's really review what you got, right, and what it means,
exactly.
instead of just like,
Exactly.
oh, we can make it work. Let's have a plan on how we're going to make it work, right? So
Yeah,
that way we're not stuck later saying, well, we're going to make it work, and everybody that said they were going to help you is gone.
it's crazy, man. So for those that don't know, maybe they didn't listen to the episode yet, no matter when, we
Mhm.
upload this. You did not, you're a special case. You didn't pay off student loans, but you graduated debt free. Can you elaborate on that in terms of the scholarship funding that you were able to obtain and like how you did it?
Sure. So, for everybody listening, it was a blessing in disguise. It wasn't something that I sought out to do. I didn't graduate high school being like, I'm going to graduate debt free. Like, it wasn't something that was even a thought. And I think everybody thinks that, like, oh, she must have had this whole plan, or she must have had a full ride somewhere. None of that happened, y'all. None of that happened.
Yeah.
And me and my family were saying this is how much we're able to contribute. We knew student loans was going to be a part of that process, trying to reduce that as much as possible. Coming from parents who've worked multiple jobs to take care of me and my siblings, and then also realizing that I had a younger sibling who was about to start college in a year from when I started. So it was like it's much more when you have a sibling you know is coming behind. Everything I do is going to also impact my sibling, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I didn't understand scholarships at all. Like, okay, so they told you about scholarships in high school, just like they did me. They told you Gates Millennial Scholarship. They told you Coca-Cola. They told you all these scholarships that were like nationwide scholarships, scholarships that you just thought you would never get. And then they also told you maybe about your church scholarship if you belong to a church, or, the high school may have thrown a scholarship for like the top 10% students. But if you were in none of those, what happened? Right? There was no, it
Yeah,
was just like
nothing.
scholarships was just like, eh, you don't get no advice on anything. And so when I got to college, I did not understand the power of scholarships. And when I found out about the power of scholarships, I ran so fast towards it and I never looked back. And that
Mm.
is how not only did I cut, paying a large chunk of what I would have paid in student loans uh, in scholarships, but I also paid a large chunk of what my parents were contributing to scholarships. And not only that, I graduated in 3 years instead of four. I don't think I told you that.
It's awesome.
Um, so really that's, that takes a lot of effort, but I had a mindset like, okay, now I have this information. It's not enough for me to just have information. It's about me having action to really put it full force. And so for
Hmm.
me, it was like, all right, you can't be mad. The only person you can be mad at if you don't use what you have is you.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to. I've heard, even back then, I was hearing people talking about student loans and how they were still paying them at 45. And I was like, I don't
Crazy.
understand this life. Like, what? Like, that was not something I wanted
Crazy.
to sign up for. I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to explore the world. I knew I wanted to, so I was like, a car note and just student loans didn't seem like this smart for me. Um, and so I started to practice on myself. And what I mean by that is I realized that there is a strategy that is never revealed to high school students nor college students. So as I'm applying for scholarships and stuff in college, my college friends are not. They are not. They don't understand what I'm doing. They haven't even asked. It was just, oh, I got to go to financial aid office and figure out how I can register for classes next semester. I got to take another loan.
That
There
was
was
me.
never, yeah, there was no conversation about,
That was me too.
there was no, I mean, it was a lot of people, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking everybody's having the same conversation I'm having with financial aid. It turns out that's not the case. And so when people don't know, right, they just tend to go with whatever is handed to them. And when I
Yeah.
graduated, not again early, but also debt free, all my friends were like, what? Like, what's going on? You know? I didn't know I didn't know that I was different until after I graduated.
Mm.
That's how crazy it was because everything was so secret, which is something I will say that in the Black community, we do not talk about financials with each other. So I'm glad that you're hosting a podcast like this because we really do need to talk more openly about finances, things that we're struggling in, things we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
understand. So that way we can learn together and build together. And if I had known, of course I would have shared the information in college. Of course I would have shared like the
Yeah.
strategy. But I'm assuming everybody's doing, no, nobody needs it because nobody talks about the need. Nobody said they went to financially to get another loan.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody said that. Nobody talked about that. And so now I'm making a point. Let's put it at the forefront of the conversation. You don't have a choice. Again, we talk about it and we start a plan, or we don't talk about it and we hurt from not having a plan. So it's one
That's a
or the
fact.
other. So for me, I'm like, I'm putting on the table. If nobody else told you, I'm putting on a table with you. I'm going to help you figure out what's the best strategy for you. And yes, you're going to have to make some effort. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. But at the end, listen, woo, there's nothing. There's nothing. When I tell you nothing like being in a room or on any social media platform and everybody's like talking about their student loans and you can't relate. Like there's nothing, there's no feeling like that, but it's more of like, thank God, like you think you're just so grateful for the sacrifices that you did. And again, for some people, they just leave it at that. I'm grateful for the sacrifices I
Mm-hmm.
made. I did it and I'm good. For me, it's to take a step forward to say, I got a responsibility to help other people to not get here. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,